So hello everyone, this is our coffee break that we're doing. This one will take place at Patio Café, and we have Judi Lively here from the Bethlehem House. And today we'll be talking, not only learning more about Bethlehem House, but obviously here at Patio Café. So your question for the day to be thinking about and responding to in the comments is what food goes best with coffee? Because one of the great things about the Patio Café is it's not just that they have wonderful coffees to choose from, but they have some great food. So in the comments, if you could tell us what food you love to have with coffee the most, then these are airing at 10 o'clock. At 3 o'clock today, I'll take a look at all those comments and we'll do a random drawing, and from that, someone will get a $10 Patio Café gift card. So let us know what you think about that. And again, I'm Michelle Morris. I'm the Associate Pastor at First United Methodist Church here in Conway. Fairly new to Conway, got here in July. So I'm learning more about the nonprofits as part of our Coffeehouse event that we're having this weekend. Which, by the way, reminder, that's this Sunday at 5 o'clock on Facebook. We'd love to have you join us. Remember also that there's a silent auction that's going on right now to benefit missions through our church, and also will benefit some of the nonprofits as well. There's all kinds of things to bid on there, and there's some fantastic gift baskets. There's some beautiful art that people have done and donated. So I encourage you to look at the link with this post and check that out. But now I want to hear about Bethlehem House and learn more about that. So Judi, if you were trying to explain what the Bethlehem House is to someone who has no idea,
right.
How would you describe what you do and what your work is?
So my heart says the work I do is really a ministry. And it is. I mean, I don't even know why I started that, but it's a calling for me. Yeah. But the Bethlehem House is really a program for individuals and families that are homeless. And additionally, we have kind of a side program that works with individuals who are living outside still. So we offer shelter, of course, and transportation and life skills training and case management, like a whole slew of services around the shelter to actually help our homeless individuals and families become successful. So that's who we are and what we do.
Yeah. So do you have housing, like you mentioned that you work with both individuals and families. I've in the ministry come in contact with a lot of organizations that do that, but usually they do either individuals or families. How is that? Is that a struggle to balance that out? And are there like separate quarters, or how does that work for y'all?
So all of our residential programming happens in one facility over on Parkway Street. We're your neighbors. So it has 11 bedrooms. And in those bedrooms, we mix it up a little bit. We do have some HUD funding specifically for a specific population, single adults, for example, or families. We report in every year how that's going to be divided up. So really including families with singles is probably not as much of a big deal as including single men and single women in the same housing. But we've really been pretty successful in that. Oftentimes individuals who are homeless have burned all their bridges, and maybe they aren't getting to see their children or their families, and so they build this camaraderie, and having children in that house makes all the difference in the world to those adults who have struggled.
Right. Kind of makes a family there.
It does. Right. And we tell them, and we want them to understand that is their home. It has rules and regulations that they have to follow, and it's we work with them through case management to help them be sure and understand them, and to help them set and be held accountable to goals. But it is their family, and anybody who's been there longer than a couple of weeks would tell you that.
That's amazing.
So they walk in the door terrified, especially, the younger individuals, or maybe those that are new to this tragic situation, or women maybe. And, in a couple of days, they feel very comfortable there.
Good. How has COVID impacted the work that you do, or impacted the house? What's changed for y'all?
So, we moved our services to non-residents off-site. So the feeding, we were allowing people to come in and eat every night. We were offering a shower facility and laundry, or meeting at the laundromat to help them do laundry once a week. We moved all of that off-site to keep our individuals in the shelter safe. We had, especially at the time, we had newborns. We have a couple of people with heart issues or diabetes, and so we just wanted to keep them as safe as we could, because that's our primary purpose for being in existence too, is our residential program. So we work with the ministry center. We provide the food, and they serve it at noon every day. So lots of people in this community still bring dinner, because it was dinner to us. And we will put it up and send it over the following day to individuals that are out on the street, or are just, food insecure, hungry for whatever reasons. We purchased a shower unit that sits at the ministry center for individuals to take showers there. We are not currently helping with laundry at all. I think the ministry center is doing some. So it had a huge impact on our non-residential services. On our residential services, we've been blessed enough that none of our residents have gotten sick. We have a room set aside for quarantine, and they will, if they've been exposed, or, if they're sick, run a fever, we will move them into that room for up to 14 days, depending. But we've not had anybody yet living there get sick. We're asking people to pray for us and to cook dinner for us, and to maybe help supply Thanksgiving, baskets, because we will provide Thanksgiving baskets. So we are, we have some pretty specific things we're asking people to do that are interested in volunteering.
Well, that brings up a good point. What other needs are very pressing for you right now with Bethlehem?
So finances are always, and this has been a tough year, I think, for every nonprofit. We are not unique in that. But I do, I tell people all the time, anything you can use in your house, we use in ours. We cook, we clean, we have kids, the difference is we would not take anything with alcohol in it. So mouthwash, for example. Although we have a ton of hand sanitizer right now, right? So anything you can use in your house, we use also. Our residents, we get adopted for Christmas every year, just like an angel tree kind of a thing. So we will open that up really soon, and we will be looking for individuals or groups, Sunday school classes or businesses or whatever, to adopt individuals for Christmas. And so we give them a form and say, here, tell us what you need, tell us your sizes, and then we just hand it to somebody and say, help yourself. And lots of times it's gift cards, somebody will want a gift card. But so that's a need that's coming up pretty quickly.
Yeah. Do you have a particular story of transformation you'd love to share with us today?
You know, there are so many, and I've said many times that for us, success comes in so many different forms. It could just be really rebuilding relationship with your family. It could be sobriety. It could be, you know, paying off bills. But for us, the ultimate goal is really permanent housing. So when they leave us, for them to move into a place that they can call their own. So there are 2 or 3 that just kind of jump out at me, but, and I'm afraid some people may have heard these because these are both a little older. One is a young man that was brought to us we work closely with the drug court program here in Faulkner County, and he was brought to us in handcuffs. And, I pulled up in front of the house and I looked at him and I thought, oh, this is not going to work. And he did excellent, both in our program and in their program. He also, while he was with us, started going to college at UCA. He completed his degree there and went on to law school at UALR and got his license.
Wow.
So he is one that just 180-degree turn. And we have a former resident right now who is at the Clinton School of Public Service working on his master's. And we have a gentleman who spent many years in prison for a drug charge that, today would not have been given him the same amount of time. And when he came out, he was one that I was concerned about because of having to, kind of readjust to society. And, he'd never had a cell phone or, whatever. And so he's done great. He is moving out actually in the next week or so. Got approval for his apartment today. And he, was so excited as he hugged me when he told me. He was choked up because he knows, where he came from to where he is now. And then the number of, every year we have 2 or 3 babies born while their mother is living at the shelter. So again, just, it's important to me that people understand that people who are homeless are not just the guy on the street corner. And I said the guy on purpose because there are lots of women, but there are a lot of families with children too in that situation today.
Those are some really powerful stories of transformation, and it's so, to be able to do that kind of work has such purpose to it. I'm grateful for the work that you do. I'm grateful for Bethlehem House in this community. I'm grateful to learn more about it. And I'm grateful to get to be here. I was sitting here thinking we had planned on coming here, and I was at least going to have lunch. But we happened to be at Patio Café on the day when they're renovating. And I thought, actually how perfect. Because they're in the process of sort of rebuilding, right? And that's the work that you get to help people do, and you get to see people do for themselves, which is rebuild their lives, put new foundations around themselves, and put the walls up as are going on around us. And I think it's also appropriate that I ended up not being able to eat here because we know that there are people on the street and they don't know where their next meal is going to come from. And so this is a moment of being in solidarity and reminding that sometimes you may make life plans, and life throws you an opportunity to renovate, right?
Exactly.
So again, Judi, thank you so much for being here. I remind everybody, put a comment in the thread here. You can comment on anything. You can share prayers for Bethlehem House. We would love to see that, or ask any questions. We'll pass this on to y'all. And then at 3 o'clock today, we'll do this drawing for the gift card, so somebody can come have a meal when they're open. Thank you again so much for being here. Thank you all for watching, and let's just continue to support the nonprofits in our area.
Well, let me say, this community is amazing as far as supporting nonprofits, and First Methodist Church is absolutely part of that, and we have been blessed abundantly by the people in your congregation, and not only physically coming to help feed or make donations, but I have lots of friends at First United Methodist, and I know there are lots of prayers going up there too. So I just want to thank you and thank the church for the work you do. We are only here by the grace of God, and I can only do this because of this community. So I want to say thank you.
Well, sure, and it's part of loving God and loving neighbor, right?
That's right.
We are neighbors.
That's right.
Neighbors. All right. Thank you again
so
much,
you.
Judi. I
It's good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.